Alright, this is kind of a weird, random deal here. This isn't actually a deck profile. It's more of just a discussion about what I'm thinking about at the moment. So yeah, this is gonna be long, ranty, but not really. It's not a rant. I'm not getting angry about anything, but it's just kind of here's where I am and thinking about what I'm playing. Um, so what I have in here currently then is a mathematician, because I can of course just send a gravekeeper, be it descendant or assailant mainly, um, to the graveyard and bring them back with Rite of Spirit or whatever I'm doing, um, whatever I need at the moment, and then draw a card. So yeah, early game, obviously I can send a descendant that gets cards out of my deck, so I can draw these right here, the spell and trap cards. Draw those and draw 2 spies and commandants easier. Um, now I'm playing 2 Veiler. Of course, that's pretty important for effect negation, as well as being a level 1 spellcaster tuner. Spellcaster doesn't matter so much right now since I'm not playing Magician's Circle. However, I could play Magician's Circle. It's still an option up in the air. Guard, of course, the 1. Assailant, Ambusher, this has been working well. I like having them in there just for that insurance of I can get Necro Valley back. It gives me another way to get Necro Valley, as well as put things back like a Level Eater from my opponent's graveyard that aren't negated by Necro Valley, that could still go off, like, as I said, Level Eater, Plague Spreader, Zombie, and things of that nature. 2 Recruiter, 2 Disciple, 2 Descendant, the 3 Commandant, 3 Spy. I got 2 Supply Squad in here at the moment. Now, this isn't because Supply Squad's been testing badly at 3. Actually, Supply Squad's been doing a lot for me, and I would really like to play 3. There are only 2 in here at the moment because of space. I've actually traded one out for a Starlight Road because I'm regretting not having that in here. But the 3 Supply Squad were actually testing really well. I would just also like to have some other cards. And so that's pretty much what this is about, is me just deciding what should be in here, and I'm putting this up so that you guys can help me do that. 2 Typhoon, I think, is perfectly good right now, especially since I'm playing a deck with 2 Descendant, of course. Descendant being a card that can do this job as well. Unless it's like a game where my opponent is playing things like Skill Drain, where I am going to have to space those, then I can side in the 3rd space. Otherwise, whatever. 2 spaces, perfectly fine. 2 Stele, talked about that. The 3 Necro Valley stops Necros. Necros can't play in the Necro Valley, and some Khalifo decks, I've been told, have been playing Necro Valleys as well, just for that, because Necros can't play. 1 Shared Ride, I like this card a lot. It's been working well in the matchups, well, in most matchups, but there are matchups where it's just not as useful, like in the game against, I know this isn't really a meta thing, but Junk Doppel, it doesn't really do a lot because it says except by drawing them, and that deck does a lot of drawing. So really against them, I just kind of want to stop the summons and draws. But and I pretty much want to have Needle Sealing all the time. But anyway, Regeki, of course, Book of Moon, Book of Eclipse. Burden of the Mighty is only at 1 in here. However, online I am playing a 2nd Burden, not Mathematician. Burden of the Mighty has been testing super, super well. Now, I know, again, I'll just cover this again, the thought of, well, they'll just make an Exceed. Alright, well, an Exceed is 21, maybe, unless they're playing, oh, what's the deck called? Not Evil Swarm. Yeah, Evil Swarm. The deck with, they can make Ophion then, which has high attack, and that's my own real problem with dealing with it, because I can negate it. Like, I was playing against the deck the other day. Just Veiler it. Okay, Fiendish Chain. Okay. And I can just kill it. but its attack points, its attack stat is really the only problem with it that I have. I mean, and it having defense, so I can't just sail it over. Um, Anyways, yes. But yeah, Burden of the Mighty helps a lot, forces my opponent to make exceeds that they wouldn't normally go into just to have stats on board. Yeah, Starlight Road, of course. I'm pretty done with my stuff getting blown out. People are jumping on this Mirror Force wagon here. People are playing the one of Mirror Force. I've actually seen two of Mirror Forces. And other people have Regekis in the deck. Torrential's a thing against Ghostrix. Needle Sealing is at 3, so yeah. And then the Mirror Force, Bottomless Trap Hole. Oh, also Exiton. And if I'm playing a match that has OCG cards in it, then I do have to worry about the Outer Gods. Those things, oh my god. One of those got dropped on me, and I was like, okay, what does this thing even do? Blows up my whole board. What? Oh my gosh. I wish I had gotten that recorded with face cam, but it didn't, of course. So, Mirror Force, Bottomless, 2 Chains, 3 Rite of Spirit, and 3 Needle Stone for the main deck. Now, the Mathematician I haven't tested yet, but I am expecting that to work pretty well. Also, Mathematician combos with Supply Squad, you know. The being a 15 is fine since I am playing Burden of the Mighty also, so he can actually deal with stuff fairly okay on my while I went to sleep. Alright, I'm gonna get this box out of the way. Real quick here, sorry. Sorry about this. So yeah, I'm gonna turn this one off so you can have the lighting there. Ooh, that's weird lighting. Alright, anyway, I'm gonna have to actually have that on for you. Alright, so the other cards I'm considering playing. Yeah, we've got Glow Up Bulb. Now I'm actually considering Glow Up Bulb, mostly because I just pulled it out of gold. But Glow Up Bulb because I can more efficiently go into synchros rather than just playing the 2 Veilers. I was thinking of also playing a Glow Up Bulb, or but I don't want to go down to. I could play Glow Up Bulb instead of the Mathematician, possibly. Is what I'm saying here. So I could go into synchros a little bit more. But I'm not. But I don't know how that would work. However, that would also allow me to go into Black Rose and actually use the second effect, like back when I played Dandelion. Or I could go back to that and play a synchro build again, but I don't know. The 3rd Supply Squad, of course, as I said, this has been working really, really well, and I'm definitely liking this card. Combos super well with the Spy and Disciple. And Recruiter, and you know, I can put things on board. Like, I just have a Descendant, I have a bad hand or whatever, and it can actually discourage my opponent from attacking. So, especially when I had back row and Supply Squad, it's like, okay, something in there is going to be a problem. Either the drawing cards or the sets. So it can discourage my opponent from attacking entirely. And if they do attack into my monster and it is a Disciple, well, I'm getting a Spy now, and would you like to attack over the Spy and allow me to draw more cards? So, you know, the Supply Squad's been working really, really well for me. Allure of Darkness, more draw power is pretty good. Heretic I'm actually considering again. Heretic, I think I've said this before, it's only good in builds where you're playing Burden of the Mighty. So, I am actually considering Heretic again, because if I do go to 3 Burden of the Mighty in the main deck, online I have 2 in the main deck, 1 in the side. My online build is different from my real life build. But anyways, yeah, I would actually consider playing Heretic again with 3 Burden. BLS, because I should actually go over my side deck. Oh, but yeah, the Veilers are light, and a card in my side deck is a light. Ring of Destruction. I had put this into the main deck yesterday just to test it, and I don't know. It never activated it, even though I drew it, because my life points were at 28 by the time I drew it, and the monster I wanted to get rid of was 3,000, so it didn't get activated. Um, I can see it earlier on, but when I show my side deck, there's a card that I think I might prefer over Ring. Torrential Tribute, of course, clearing the board. The downside of Torrential, of course, being that I am trying to keep my Spies and Disciples on the board, and yeah, it would be kind of bad for me to lose those, and that's why I played Needle Ceiling. However, this would definitely, I don't know, at least as a side card, Torrential might be nice. Just to Torrential Ghost Strikes, because as I said with Ghost Strikes, the Needle Ceiling's so important. Um, I might like to side in that for them. The evac it's an evac, like, yeah. And the third chain, I haven't had a problem with the three chains, it's just space-wise, it came out for other things. Exchange of Spirit, I was thinking about for the side deck, actually. Um, because I am playing so much draw power, I am kind of worried about that, but I'm playing so much draw power. I might actually outspeed my opponent as in drawing and searching and whatnot. Since the deck already searches a lot, and I am playing so much draw power in with that, I'm a little bit worried about running low on cards. Also, if Exchange of the Spirit is activated, it does allow me to put my spell and trap cards back in the deck as well as the monsters, allow me to do the Spy and Disciple loop again, get the Necrobuzz back, of course. If I were to play Exchange of the Spirit, Ambusher could come out for exchange, just as a thought there, because it would do the same thing, just put back more, however, not be a 2200 monster. So that's my thoughts on that. Pretty much. Also, like, unstacking people's graveyards. When people get just like sit and get stuff in their graveyards, undoing that whole deal would be good. Escape from the Dark Dimension. There's only one in my side deck currently, and I would really like for there to be two. Although Clees aren't being played as much competitively, I just saying other random stuff, sighting, macro, and defissure, and things of that nature. Bottomless, of course, is really heavily played and whatnot. So, two escape might be good. Veil of Darkness. I played this yesterday just to test it, and I didn't give it, not really giving it a fair shot if I'd only give it that, because the card I drew was Spy, and I was like, alright, it is late game, and I need something to be aggressive with. I discarded the Spy and drew, what was it I drew? I don't know, but it wasn't something I could use at the moment. It wasn't something useful. But yeah, it would have been much better in that case to keep the Spy, but that's just my mistake, and I knew I should have kept it, but I didn't. And so I don't think I was going to Veil a fair shot there. So Veil of Darkness as another draw power card is definitely a consideration. Now, these are pretty much all side deck cards from here on. No Man of Crossout just for the Ghost Trick matchup, because that is a pretty bad matchup. I would actually like to flip my cards face up, thank you. However, I can use their field spell to attack them directly and kill them with that, so that's cool. Until they get 5 monsters on the board and then don't take any damage anymore. But yeah, no Mana Crossout, mostly for skeleton build. If I'm playing against the skeleton build, of course I can just banish the skeletons. Anything else, I'll just banish the Jiangshis. Of course I get 3, but it's pretty much what happens first, so it would be Jiangshi skeleton, and then whatever happens next. Whatever, dependently on the build my opponent's playing, it would be a side deck card, so I would be able to determine that during game 1. So that's also up for consideration. Full house. I don't want to. Again, Ghost Tricks as well as the mirror match. Yeah. So. Okay. Also, people side decks against Fire Fists, I suppose. However meta Fire Fists are. Yeah, Full House. It would actually be useful against a fair number of decks, especially in games 2 and 3. So that is under consideration as well. Of course, Mind Crush is. I do have more Mind Crush, but they're in my Dark World deck. But more than 2 Mind Crush, I don't know about. I don't know how I feel about those. Burial from the Different Dimension, Breakthrough Skill, and Solemn Warning. Now, why is there not a Royal Tribute in my main deck? There should be, but it is currently in my side deck because I'm not sure how I feel about all of this stuff. So yeah, side deck. Spells first. Royal Tribute. 2 Mass Change. Mass Change second, of course. For the 1 Dark Claw that I am playing in the side deck. That lighting. Okay, that's as good as I'm getting up lighting to be, apparently. We have the 1 Dark Claw. So, Mass Change second, and then for that, I'm considering actually playing one of the Mass Change seconds in the main deck rather than Shared Ride. Or I could trade the Mass Change second, as I said earlier, with another card for Mathematician, so that I still have that draw power card, but pretty much I'm having to change Mass Change second for a draw power card either way. But yeah, I would actually really like to get Royal Tribute into the main deck because it's really unfair opening with this card. And especially with as much draw power as I would like to play in here anyway, with Exchange of Spirit and whatnot. For as much draw power as I would like to play, I think I could definitely play Mass Change second very efficiently. Starlight Road, Zen Zen Hu, Escape from Dark Dimension, to Gozen match is awesome. There's too many matchups. But too many Necros and Doppel, but you know. Okay. Ceasefire. Yeah, just 2. Ceasefire, of course. My opponent fills their board. Ceasefire, not happening. In that weird random mirror match, you really want that spy? Because I don't. So yeah. Really, just anyone filling their board with things, trying to fill me. Any pendulum deck, any synchro deck, anybody trying to make exceeds. Really anything other than fusion decks. Ceasefire works. Fusion and rituals. Actually. But yeah, Ceasefire is good against anything other than those. So Necros and Heroes, it doesn't go in for. Okay. So the third space, 2 Spell Shatter. The Spell Shatter I would say could go down, but continuous spells, keep seeing them. So that's probably going to stay at 2. Also, just other random pendulum decks. Although if there's anything of that nature that does that for continuous traps, I would be willing to look at that as well. However, what's it called? Discard 1 card from your hand, destroy all continuous traps on the board. It's a trap card that does that, so I don't know. I'm really looking for spell cards here. Santa Claus. I'm the obligatory Decimal deck. But, Santa Claus, I want to talk about this card and why I am considering it. Okay, so with Santa Claus, Level 6 light monster level doesn't really matter, other than he's not a level 4 or 5. He's not a level 4 or 3, really. But tribute an opponent's monster, summon this guy to your opponent's side of the board. In defense mode, 2,500 defense points. During the end phase of that turn, you draw a card. So it's another draw power that lets me get rid of Dante's, Virgil's, a Trish, I guess. Pretty much anything that would be more of a threat to me than this guy. Which is like anything my opponent would actually end their turn with on the board. Also, he's like unusable by my opponent. He's a 1200, and as I said, he's a level 6. So under Burden of the Mighty, he's losing 600 on top of that, of being only 1200 attack. Now he's a 2500 defender, but like, okay, I care. Like, sure, you can have a 2500 defender that I can draw a card off during the end phase. You still have that monster on the board, so that's still another count towards Needle Ceiling being activatable. You might just like put that guy in attack mode when he attacks just in case of a Mirror Force. I don't know why you would, but maybe you need the board space. Of course, when I need to, I can just descend it, blow him up. So I also have Assailant to get over Santa Claus. Doesn't do anything for my opponent, and I get to draw a card and get rid of one of their monsters, be it a Dante, a Virgil, or whatever. So yeah, Santa Claus I think is very useful, and I would actually consider main decking. I'm actually kind of between Santa and Mathematician in the main deck deal. Let's put Santa in for now, actually. Because I'm really feeling pretty good about playing Santa Claus in here. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about right now. As far as what I should play, now that everything's flat, you can see this better. No glare this way. I do have a light over there, as you can tell. I can't get any closer though because of where my outlets are. Actually, there's an outlet back here. I can plug it in back here. Was there anything else I really needed to mention? Oh, the extra deck. I guess I will go over the extra deck real quick. So of course the Dark Law, and it's dark. Too dark to see. Okay. Dark Law. I currently have 2 Stardust in here. This is supposed to actually be a Red Dragon Archfiend, but one of my friends was borrowing it yesterday, and it accidentally got left in his extra deck. So, or actually it was one of my friends was borrowing a deck from one of my other friends, and he was borrowing the Red Dragon Archfiend for that deck's extra deck, and forgot to take it out. So now the friend who originally loaned the deck to him to borrow has the card. But yeah, I don't think he actually even knows he has it right now. But yeah, 2 Stardust. The Starlight Roads. I'm actually considering making that be a second Stardust because I might put a second Starlight Road in, dependently on how the meta shifts coming into this new format here, where we got some of the bank cards back. Some more bank cards back. I'm not actually playing like any of them. Exchange of the Spirit is the one I'm really considering that came back. Like, really? Yeah. Black Rose, Armades, Samsara has been in here forever, even though it completely conflicts with the deck I'm playing. That lighting is atrocious. But anyways, Samsara, even though it completely conflicts with the deck I'm playing. Double Castile, 101, Exiton, Gotta Get a Cowboy, Rhapsody in Berserk, Heartland Draco, Alucard, and Abyss Dweller. I know Alucard's usually the last one because they're in order, but they ended up out of order this time. Somehow. Slightly. By Alucard. But yeah, the Dark Law, we all know how good that is, or should anyway. But yeah, Rhapsody in Berserk and Samsara, I like having those options when I don't have Necrobai, or in the case of Rhapsody and Berserk, the options of when I just need a monster to put one of my Exceed monsters, such as Abyss Dweller, even higher. Because one of the most unfair things I can do is to have a board with Necker Valley and Abyss Dweller. And I'm not even going to worry about keeping these in order. Take out Necker Valley here. Because most of these things are going to involve Necker Valley. And I'm just going to think of a few scenarios that I really like. Or that I kept doing yesterday, rather. But yeah, really scenarios I really like. Okay. So, Necker Valley. When I can have a Necker Valley, let's say a Dark Lord, because that didn't happen at all. Abyss Dweller is what we're talking about here. A Necker Valley and Dark Law is stupidly unfair. But, Dark Law is like, okay, so these three are what I want to talk about. Can't touch a graveyard pretty much ever. Because I've got one of these three on the board, or in conjunction with each other. Now, if I have all three out, that's just dumb. But what we're talking about here is the most common, Necker Valley, Abyss Dweller. I really like going for the 2 attacks, make Abyss Dweller, and turn. Detach from Abyss Dweller during draw phase. Or as soon as Abyss Dweller is like targeted or whatever. Happens. Detach from during draw phase if, you know, they have something in their graveyard that they're going to try to activate. Doesn't do anything with it, so either way. But anyways, that way a Dweller is already activated. But yeah, you can mess up some people's plays really badly with that. So I do really like having Dweller and Necker Valley, of course. That's just unfair, can't touch your graveyard, even with cards already in the graveyard. However, as I learned yesterday, Machina Fortress does get over this combo. Darklaw. Now it doesn't. And that's why if you have this kind of board, it's just dumbly unfair. And that this is a board that's really, I mean, technically you can do it in Heroes if you're playing Necker Valley for some dumb reason, which you shouldn't be doing. But, so really, this is the only deck where this is a possible board, really. Realistically, a possible board. In an actual functioning deck, this is really the only deck where you can do that. So, that I really do, this is awesome. Getting the Abyss Dweller and Darklaw. By the way, you left your mat here. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but okay. So yeah, unfairness of that. Can't touch your graveyard ever. And anything else I really needed to mention that I haven't already? I don't think so. Yeah, Burden of the Mighty has been testing super well, and so has Supply Squad. And now I'm going to be testing Santa Claus. See how that runs. And now I'm going to go ahead and pile shuffle. So. Yep.